Make a U-turn in 1,000 feet, slide left, take the next left, sharp left, turn right on, continue on, in a quarter mile, at the light, in 600 feet, turn right on. You have reached your destination.
Okay, there's where the e-brake goes, and here is the spacer, the washer, for lack of a better term, that I've made. This is out of 3/36 1/12 plain steel. So this is or hot rolled steel, whatever, pretty thick stuff. And this is what's going to be put into there, with some bolts and some other stuff like that, right? Okay, so I kind of wanted to show you, there's been some discussion recently I've seen about how this thing works and why, with an American car or a modern one, when you pull the brake up, there's a whole bunch of clicks and it stays put until you press the button, which then releases everything. The MGs are different. Okay, so this is the natural order of things. I am just doing that. Okay. This thing is spring-loaded to return to its open position, and as you pull it up, you would hear it click, right? And due to the, what do you call it? The, oh, Jesus God, it's a late day. The tension on the on that line, it stays put. I've got a little bit of a tension on my my hand here. If I let it go, there it goes, and it's free to fall down. This has been called, I think, a flying brake. Okay, so again, press it in, pull it up, or you pull it up to where the brake is tight. Put the button in, and then let it go. Okay. So this is in very good shape. This came with my car. It came with another one that is this one, and is not in good shape because there's a lot of rust. And I frankly don't know how to repair that. Obviously it's repairable because there's a cotter pin there. I guess you would unscrew this maybe, and so forth. So I may just give this away. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to toss it, but okay. So that is done. Like I said, I had considered doing two of these. I actually cut out another one so that they would be top to bottom. Like so. Whoops, like so. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to need to do that, to be honest. So I'll put this in its remaining piece where I put all my other scrap metal, or metal to be used at one point, which is corner over there. And I'll paint this, make sure it is nice and not rustable. It's going to be open to the elements. And I might even put it in. Maybe. What did I want to show you? Oh, yeah. Hang on a sec. Here's the end of the beginning, maybe, of the e-brake cable, right? That's what goes into that little assembly that I just showed you. At about that same spot. Because I have done what I'm doing and I'm putting the tunnel on top of these boards, and a resultant lack of stiffness, which I just overcame, and a lack of a guard for these things, for the drive shaft. I don't buy it. So if this somehow comes down, if it comes off the transmission, that yoke from here to the end is about that long. Ish. Maybe about here, right? So the car has to come apart for this to come down, right? And then on the other end, I've got that, which, if it came off the rear end for some reason, would be held up by that. Additionally, if it does come off and flails around up and down, not only does the transmission tunnel take that, but this entire thing does too. Okay, I know this is just wood, but you know, I'm not convinced that I need to have a guard for the prop shaft if it comes off. Maybe I'll die in a horrible accident that will prove me wrong, but so I've been thinking about this. I've got a bunch of spares of these, and I'll show you where they would normally go. These are suspension bits. You can't see them too well because it's not focusing, of course, but these U-bolts are what holds the leaf springs to the rear end. Okay. I get a whole set of these things. There she blows. They're just a little bit too narrow, but I could open them up with a torch and so forth, and do something with them. What that something would be is, I don't know. I would much rather do something that is removable easily. Because if I need to get under the car and remove the entire thing, I take the bolts off the rear and then slide the entire thing forward, or do it from underneath, which would be more painful. But you know, I'm wondering if I installed something about right here, and I don't know. Honestly, I'm just not convinced that I need some sort of a guard to prevent this thing from flailing around or coming out, because it's so far up into the transmission casing, and it has a guard in the back if it came off the rear end somehow. Yeah, I'm gonna think this one through. I'm honestly not convinced I need to do it, but you know, I guess we'll see where we see. And that's all done. I had to do some modifications to the work I was doing yesterday with all the foamies on the big one. I forgot that one rides on the other one, so you can see how much of an overlap there is down there and how much I had to cut down from here down. So a good inch or so or more with the different levels of this stuff and everything else. So quite a bit of overlap. So thus the gap there. Not a big deal. When carpet goes on there and the center rest goes on there, you know, even less of a noticeability thing. There, of course, is the e-brake mount. That'll come off when I put carpet on. I'm not going to do that here now. And that's in. So all that's left is bolting it all in and saying I'm done. So not too displeased. I need to... I'm going to think out loud here. I need to put that same foamy stuff on this one. And then on the floorboards, I'm not going to do that now. Hell with that, that's just silly. But I need to know what I'm going to do next, because I don't know. Maybe more wiring? No, I'll do the dash next. That'll be fun. Ugh. So, there's that. Well, I thought I'd just kind of break up the video a little bit and show you something about yesterday. This is a 4-inch bilge blower that draws 10 amps, 12 volts. It's for boats. It puts out a hell of a lot of power, right? I've been avidly following a thread on the MG, what do you call it, thread website. There we go. And some folks are using this to blow cooler or colder air into their engine bay to cool down the carbs. And I've always wanted to try it, so here we go. I bought one. Unfortunately, as you can see here, it came broken. So I did an Amazon return, and they said, hell with it, we'll just give you the money back and keep it for free. So I'm going to rig it into my car somehow. But you can see how big it is. It's a big unit. I'll show you where it would go, why I don't have the room for it. So some folks have been buying 3-inch bilge blowers and putting them inside that part of the intake. I don't know what you call it, but as you can see, there's not a lot of space there between the exit point and my carbs. A hand and a thumb's width away from the bowl down there, and I got K&N filters that I just don't have the room. So I'm gonna have to rig something up somehow. You can see where I've got my puke bottle for the radiator. That's there, and I don't necessarily want to move that, but I certainly can. I can move it to the other side if I have to. I might just do that anyway, and then either put that blower at the bottom and put air into there or something. But I've got options, I've got ideas. I'm just not going to do it now. The only reason I'm telling you all this is because I wanted to show you how well this thing works. And so I'm going to go here. Let me set my camera up. I've already got power supply. I'm going to aim this this blower. I'm going to pause and strip off some more wires, but I'm going to aim my blower at the wall here, my wall O parts, and you'll see how well it does work. And it's pretty impressive, actually. Okay, without any further ado, here we go. And you can hear how loud it is. Okay, I was more impressed with myself a second ago when I tested it. It's definitely blowing the bags around, and it's 10 feet distance between me and that wall-ish. Go over here, maybe we can see it better. So, if you want to take my advice, get a smaller one. They're at, 3 inches. I bought a 4-inch one because, bigger's better. A 3-inch one with the same CFM rating, and it'll be easier to install. So there we go. And let's do the rest of the unboxing part of this. In some of my videos and in some of the online threads that I participate in, I talk a lot about lizard skin, okay? This is a ceramic insulation, and if you know a whole lot about the space industry, you'll know that the ceramic tiles were used very, very well in anti-gravity effect on the space shuttle. They can get glowing hot, but you can literally pick them up with your hands and not get burnt. Those tiles are excellent, as you know, at insulating one from heat. It's been said widely that in order to cut down on the heat in the engine bays of our cars, you should get your exhaust manifolds ceramic coated. And there's one type of ceramics. Okay, this is about $100 off of Amazon. I would be surprised if I use half of that, honestly. And there are kits that you can buy for sprayer guns. But this stuff is so thick. I've used it before. This stuff is so thick. I don't know how a damn gun would be, a spray gun would be effective. Let's see if I just pull this off. Nope. I'm gonna pause and get this thing pre-pulled. Okay, there we go. I had to cut slots and all these things. It's popping up. It's a real bitch to do it too. This is it. It's got the consistency of peanut butter. Maybe a little bit more runny. Actually, I think I got a good batch because the stuff I got before had already hardened a little bit. See that? So, with a lot of pressure and a very, very open spray gun, I guess you could use this. I plan on painting it onto my floorboards on the underside of it. Pot life for this stuff apparently is about 40 minutes, and it's supposed to be applied, it's going to be effectively applied at certain temperatures within a certain band, and yada yada yada. So I've had this inside my house for a couple days, and I feel comfortable in the temperature band, and it is 60 degrees in my garage. So without further ado, I'm going to get a paintbrush, and I'm going to start painting my floorboards on the underside, the environmental portion facing where I see water and heat and so forth. Okay, I'll probably have a lot left over, so if you want it, I'll sell it to you at a discount, I guess. All right, here's my first floorboard, and as you can see, God, I'm a moron sometimes. I'm looking everywhere for my cell phone, and I'm recording with it. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so this is the underside of my floorboard. This is the part that's going to face the ground, and I inadvertently mix up the wrong sides and put the Dynamat, the Hushmat, the Amazon junk stuff on the bottom where it wouldn't normally be. I don't know if you can tell too well, but I've got a whole bunch of staples in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows worth of stuff to make sure this doesn't come down. I also liberally applied a lot of heat to it. And where's my roller? This comes sometimes with a kit. I had to buy this extra, but I heated the hell out of this stuff, rolled it like it's supposed to, and it's not going anywhere. Only thing is that this stuff is relatively smooth. So I'm gonna scuff it up with, what is this, 150 grit sandpaper, this stuff, so that it's got a mechanical adhesion, something to hang on to. And I'll do that just real quick. So pro tip, when hand sanding, recommend you use gloves because it'll wear your fingerprints down. I've done it a couple times, and it's caused me disservice because I need my fingerprints. I'll wipe that down. Some of the blue stuff came off, but that's expected. And I lament the fact I have one brush left. I was using this, I was going to save this for a special occasion. Let me move this around. I'm going to use that for a special occasion, but that's my last one left. All I'm doing, shoveling a bunch of it onto the brush, and we slather it on. Maybe I ought to put gloves on for the other one too. Yeah, fuck it. And as you can see, I'm not using this stuff sparingly. In the directions, it talks about how it's got to be a certain mil thick, and there's a guide, or it looks like a comb. All right, done. I'm gonna let this stay horizontal like this for at least overnight. I'm going to do all of my floorboards all at once so that my favorite paintbrush won't die without cause. And then I'll probably store these in my attic. And when I start the final assembly, I'll bring them back down. So I'll take these out of my car, and without further ado, I'll just show you the final to-do once I'm done. Okay, there we go. I've got all of the pieces up for drawing right now. You can see that they're already skinning over. These will get a second coat, I think. That one maybe especially because I don't think I got it thick enough. Excuse me, thick enough, got the hiccups. I will definitely put second coats on the left-hand side. This is the left main big floor. Kind of hiccups. And again, I'm going to let this dry, and I'll take another stab at it tomorrow or the next day, one of the two later on. But the left side being where the exhaust system comes down. Okay. I've got some on my hands. I'll use acetone to get that off. There's a little bit of paint. When you buy this stuff, you can get a top coat for it. I don't know what that does, whether it changes the color from dark purple to black or whatnot. But once this stuff dries, it stays on pretty good. I did this on my Roadster to good effect. So both sides and the rear board on the MG took about a quarter of the, maybe a third of this entire bucket. Okay, so the $100 I spent for 8-gallon of this stuff, you know, would have cost me $35 if I was able to buy it in smaller buckets. I looked at Summit, I looked at Eastwood, Amazon is where I bought this, and the smallest bucket I could find was 1 gallon. So for a small car like the MJ, it's, you know, overkill. For a larger car, Mercedes, a Barracuda, Nova, I don't know, where people do both the underside and the inside, it might be a better buy. I do not plan on putting this on the inside of the car. I, in fact, plan on putting more of that stuff, especially on the floor. Again, I want a quiet car, and there we go. I'll do that later, much later on down the road when I'm just about to put everything back together. So, without further ado, I'm going to put the lid back on this. I'm going to advertise the unused half of it for sale for anybody who wants it. I don't want to waste this stuff. I had a 2-gallon bucket when I did my Roadster and put it away thinking I could come back to it, and about 1.5 years later I came back to a solid chunk of ceramic block. So it's definitely better to send this off to somebody who could use it at a reasonable price. So here we go.